Hello. Let's see if there is a message using the past life energy oracle. (31) Resourcefulness, intelligence, mental action, right thinking. And we have Archangel Michael. Okay, and I was just thinking of stability for some reason. And he is associated with the root chakra, the base chakra, the color red. Number 9, strength, courage, letting go. Having the courage to let go, surrender, to release. The need to control every aspect of our lives. Releasing the burden of responsibility. Okay, I am seeing an old-fashioned camera. I think it's for movies. So you may be interested in films. Maybe you have dreams of being a filmmaker. You love movies. I'm also noticing the old-fashioned telephone. You may be a good communicator, a gifted communicator. And I'm seeing some, what looks like scrolls to me, but it may be just because I'm also thinking about architecture here. So they may be, I don't know what they're called, but I'm just going to call them scrolls. So that makes me think that perhaps you are also interested in writing. You're a writer. Again, going back to your being a good communicator. So using your throat chakra. And you may be interested in design, architecture. Okay, so this looks like a drafting board or a drafting desk. I'm not sure what the correct term is. Again, that returns to the writing. That makes me think of writing drafts. And seeing this ruler makes me think, okay, you may be very logical in your thinking. Maybe you're interested in the sciences. Clear thinking. Swords energy in the tarot. Okay. Yeah, with mental action. Intelligence, mental action, right thinking. You're very intelligent. And also very wise, because we're using the past life energy oracle. So we're going back to past lives. So throughout all of your past lives, you've gathered wisdom through different experiences and lives. And I'm looking at the beautiful mountain scenery outside the window. So I'm thinking, well, you have big dreams for yourself, but also you've had a very adventurous life. Adventure, not only in this life, you've had a lot of experiences in past lives, and there may have been a lot of struggles. Now I'm thinking of the song, Climb Every Mountain, about perseverance, going after your dreams, your big dreams. And there's so much to see here, wow. And this drawer or dresser, there may be maps in there, so I'm thinking of traveling. And also it reminds me of the library for some reason. So yes, you may be bookish, you may love reading. You may go to the library often. Maybe you're a librarian. And you conduct research. It makes me think, looking at the word resourcefulness. You conduct research. You're very curious. You love learning. Okay, whew. And 31 breaks down to a 4, making me think of stability. And that's why when I saw Archangel Michael, I thought it made sense. Him being associated with the root chakra, the base chakra, and stability, right? Helping us feel more rooted and grounded. Strength, courage, letting go, yes. Feeling grounded and strong. Having the courage to go after our dreams, our big dreams. But also having the courage to let go. To surrender to a higher power, to source. We don't have to figure out everything. We don't have to figure everything out. Source will figure out the how. And seeing his sword here, Archangel Michael's sword, the sword of truth, I'm thinking. Ace of Swords. And looking at the shield, now I'm thinking of protection. Protection energy. You are protected and supported by your spirit team. But you may also, understandably, feel vulnerable at times, which may make it difficult, challenging for you to let go of certain memories, experiences that may still be caught inside your body. Number 9 makes me think of the end of cycles, the end of a cycle, which is why the advice is of letting go, releasing the old in order to be able to make room for the new to come in. But change makes our egos feel quite vulnerable and scared because the ego it clings to the familiar, right? It wants to keep us safe. It means well. But you know, deep inside, at the soul level, you are here to soar, to evolve. Anything else? And I'm looking at the word right thinking, particularly the word right, using your right brain. Not only your logical mind, I did mention science earlier, balancing, being able to balance using your left and right brain to make decisions. And the right brain is associated with the creativity. Imagination. Ooh, boy. Number 26, servitude, loss of power or control. Well, I did mention control in regards to the Archangel Michael card. Strength, courage, letting go, releasing, surrendering control, right? seeing the columns here. Whenever I see pillars or columns, it makes me think of stability. Again, returning to what I said about the root chakra and Archangel Michael. Stability. I think you're strengthening right now. You're better able to relinquish control. And your perspective is changing. To surrender, you're beginning to see that it does not need to equate weakness. Surrender, to surrender and trust and faith is a demonstration of strength and courage. Another archangel, 39, Archangel Phanuel. Optimism, hope. Okay, beautiful. So there's a message here from Spirit encouraging you to maintain the vibration of optimism and hope. That makes me think, which one is it? I think it's the Page of, is it Page of Cups? No, Page of Wands. And also I'm noticing the sailboat here. So that makes me think of the Six of Swords, moving to calmer shores. Moving steadily towards your optimistic future, towards realizing your dreams. And we also have number 2, wealth, abundance, entitlement. The word entitlement, it makes me think of inheritance, divine justice, karmic justice, the scales or the wheel of fortune turning in your favor, balancing out. And it makes me think of the wealth mindset, abundance mindset, as opposed to a lack mindset. I feel like maybe the number 2 may be significant. We shall see. There are 2 people here as well. And I'm noticing the white here. The scenery is mainly white. New beginnings. Hope. 1414 when I looked up. A positive changes in the air. As I mentioned when I was discussing the wealth card. The wheel is turning in your favor. The scales are balancing. Anything else to add? Ooh. Okay. Wow, lots of archangels, lots of angelic support. Excuse me. 23, Archangel Raguel. There we go. That justice, discipline, harmony. I may have mentioned karmic justice, right? And we have scales here. Okay. The scales of justice are balancing out for you. Justice, discipline, harmony makes me think of the justice card. The number 11, for some reason. The justice card is the number 11. Balance, solidity, like these columns. 1, 1. And look at that smile on his face. Makes me think, yep. Hold on to your optimism and hope. Harmony, yep. I relate, excuse me, harmony to balance, stability. And oftentimes, in most of my readings, if not all, there is always a consistent message from Spirit of getting balanced. And I'm noticing the mountains here, just as I noticed the mountains on the first card here, the resourcefulness card. Mountains. You've been through a lot. You've climbed a lot of mountains. Gained a lot of spiritual strength. Excuse me, my throat chakra. So something may be going on with your throat chakra as well at this time. And he is holding a scroll as well. So again, makes me think of communication, that you are a communicator somehow, that you are meant to communicate, express yourself creatively. His heart area, his heart space is lit up. 1717 when I looked up, making me think of the star card in the tarot. Your heart chakra is healing. You're learning to love and respect yourself more and more. Yes, you're feeling more harmonious energetically within. Okay. Anything else you want to add? This is the Wisdom of the Oracle Pocket Divination cards. Something flipped over. Breathe, yes. Going within, stillness. I think I mentioned you may have completed a cycle, so you may be in between right now, having completed a cycle and about to start a new cycle, a more optimistic cycle. Oh, and 29 reduces to an 11. I mentioned 11. Yeah, the message of centering yourself, getting yourself grounded. And makes me think of rest and rejuvenation. This is a time for you to rest and rejuvenate. Anything else? Ooh, loyal heart. There you go. Okay. I was mentioning how I felt like the number 2 was significant, and I noticed there are 2 people here. 2 people here. We have 2 owls, 2 wise souls. I may have mentioned you likely experienced multiple past lives before this one, and therefore you gathered a lot of experience, a lot of wisdom. They're both wearing crowns. Your crown chakra, you're very tapped into. Source, higher consciousness. You're very intuitive. And I'm noticing this castle here. Makes me think of royalty, sovereignty. Potentially, however, maybe one of your past lives, you were a king or a queen. Loyal heart. You are loyal to yourself, but potentially you are attracting in, magnetizing to you, someone who is also, excuse me, loyal to him or herself. And therefore, both of you having balanced out internally, you are being brought together. When two become one, Spice Girls. And this looks like an egg to me, so it makes me think, when you unite with your counterpart, you may birth something together. 35 reduces to an 8. Makes me think of abundance. Abundance right here. Okay. Anything else? Come to the edge, number 36. Another 9. This is not a 9 card here. Come to the edge. Taking a risk makes me think of the Fool card in the Tarot. Taking a leap of faith on yourself, taking a leap of faith on your dreams. And I'm noticing all these red hearts. That is a beautiful act of love. Act of self-love. Taking a leap of faith on yourself. And because you've learned to love and respect yourself, own your sovereignty, you are attracting someone to you with a loyal heart. Regeneration 46. That makes me think, yes, during this time of rest, you're regenerating. Ten. 46 reduces to a 10. New beginnings, the start of a new cycle, the completion of an old cycle, right? Letting go of the old to make room for the new, especially energetically, which will manifest in the material. Okay, number 17, the fates. I mentioned earlier, when I looked up, I saw 1717, making me think of the star card. This is called the fates. This makes me think that this is fate. This is part of your fate. Union with the loyal counterpart. This is part of your divine entitlement, divine justice, karmic justice. Justice. The scales balancing in your favor. And the star card also represents hope. Ooh, message in a bottle, number 6. 6 I associate with balance, harmony, stability. 2444 when I looked up. And there's a telephone, an old-fashioned telephone inside this bottle. Like this one right here, this telephone right here. Okay, let me get my magnifying glass. Yeah, seeing these old-fashioned telephones, they're not iPhones or Androids. This makes me think, yes, the person that is being drawn to you, you're being drawn to each other. You're in each other's energetic orbits right now. You knew each other from a past life, at least one past life. You may be receiving a message from them, or you're receiving intuitive hits from source. So you may already feel that indeed your counterpart is in your orbit. You just don't know when, right? When you will reunite in this lifetime. It makes me think, because this bottle is immersed in water, deep water. It makes me think, yes, it will be an emotional reunion. You will recognize each other at soul level, heart to heart, two hearts recognizing the other. Okay, let's go to Page of Wands. I mentioned Page of Wands earlier, didn't I? Page of Wands, optimism, enthusiasm. Yes, yes, yes. Page of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Anything to confirm or add, please? Thank you. So this makes me think that, considering we saw the Loyal Heart card, it's kind of turning into a love reading. And I'm looking at the Archangel Michael card and the phrase, letting go. So that makes me think, and also now looking at the Servitude card, maybe in the past you experienced heartache in a relationship dynamic, in a romantic relationship dynamic, where there was an imbalanced power dynamic, right? Where you felt maybe powerless, disempowered. And there may be a part of you right now looking at the shield, making me think of protection. You may be protecting your heart a little bit at this time. But given the message, the energy here, that the message of potential love coming in, it makes me think you're starting to, what's it? Something about walls. Put down your walls, or you know what I mean, right? You are starting to release painful memories of past imbalanced romantic relationships and experiences. And you're starting to open up to the possibility of a balanced love relationship. Yes, oh, it's upside down. Now we have the Hanged Man at the bottom of the deck. So yes, I think, based on what I said, you're starting to change your perspective on things. Even though you have a lot of painful experiences, even though you've experienced a lot of painful heartache, you're starting to steadily open up your heart to the possibility of letting love in. And now, looking back at the message in a bottle card, I'm thinking you may already be communicating with each other, this person who's coming in. Maybe via song lyrics, maybe in your dreams. You're opening up to the possibility of a new relationship, and that takes courage. At one time, and I think I mentioned this, maybe not, you may have felt disempowered at one time, and maybe you thought that, well, you felt vulnerable, and you perceived vulnerability as a weakness. But you're opening up to the possibility of letting love in, to allow yourself to love another soul, to allow another soul to love you, to pour into you. That takes courage. It is a vulnerable act, and that is showing strength. Sorry, the buttons on my blazer is kind of... Okay, anything to add or confirm, Spirit? Thank you so much. We have 2 cards. Okay. We have the 4 of Cups, there you are. This makes me think, okay, Source is offering you a cup of love. Someone with a loyal heart. And yes, you may be feeling vulnerable. We discussed that earlier. You're opening yourself up slowly, but you're still feeling protective. The Lovers. This is a major arcana card. This is, part of a significant chapter of your new timeline. This is a significant relationship. Oh, I didn't cover these figures. I should have. Oh boy, okay. We'll see what happens. Love is coming. It's a gift from Source. This is part of your justice. This is part of balancing the scales. Oop, oop, oop. Okay. I mentioned the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is turning in your favor. Do I have to cover anything here? No. Here you go. It's safe to look. And I'm noticing all the books here. There are like 4 books. Returning to what I said, potentially you may be a writer or a communicator in some respect. And I'm noticing the Sphinx here. Perhaps I mentioned that you may have potentially been royalty in a past life, both of you, potentially. The castle here as well. Perhaps in Egypt. You had a past life in Egypt, maybe one of them at least. Yes, this is a very transformative time for you. I'm noticing the snake here. Yep. Representing transformation. Okay. Let's end it here. Wheel of Fortune. The scales are balancing out for you. The wheel is turning in your favor. Thank you.